Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on this video, we're going to be doing a day one recap of the Bassmaster Open on the Harris Chain of Lakes here in Central Florida, Lake County. And this was an event that I was really looking forward to for a couple reasons. Number one, it's Florida. I love Florida fishing. That's really where I cut my teeth and really started, gaining some momentum in tournament fishing. I went to University of Central Florida for college and fished a lot of BFLs and things like that in the Central Florida area, in South Florida as well. So Harris Chain is a chain of lakes I've been to many times. But that being said, it's not my favorite chain of lakes in Florida. In fact, I have kind of this bittersweet relationship with this chain because I either do really good or don't do very good at all on this chain. I've had top 10s, but I've also had 100, triple digit finishes. But anyway, and the other reason I was looking forward to this event was because we were ending the season. As much as I love fishing tournaments and as much as I love fishing the Bassmaster Opens, man, I am looking for some good time at home with the family and maybe doing some hunting, not maybe, but definitely doing some hunting this fall, as well as content. I'm going to stay out on the water. I have a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn when it comes to this whole live scope game, and I've got to start folding that into my tournament strategies. So I was looking forward to capping off the season. I can't remember the last time, I fished tournaments all the way into October. I guess if I really think about it, the BFL regionals that I used to fish used to end in October. So I guess I have in the past fished trails that brought me all the way into October, but I think we should be ending in September. That's my personal opinion, just so we have the rest of the year to make plans for the following season. But anyways, we ended the season, and so we're going to get started on day one, and then we're going to be doing the video on day two as well. So keep a lookout for that, which should just be dropping the next day. So it should be right after this video. Two things I want to mention. First off, if you're coming to Central Florida, you've got to check out 44 Tackle. They've got a brick and mortar store in Inverness, Florida. It's got everything you could possibly need. They're an incredible a retail tackle shop in the state of Florida. So if you're coming to the Central Florida region, whether it's Lake County, fishing the Harris Chain, or you're going to Kissimmee, or even if you're going down to Okeechobee, you got to stop at 44tackle.com if you need some tackle. And they also have their website too. So free shipping on orders over $35, and they got all kinds of great stuff on there. So make sure that you check 44tackle.com or go to their actual storefront. They are awesome dudes. Tell them that Sonar sent you. The next thing I want to mention is that if you guys love this content, make sure that you go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the content with your friends that may be interested. If you don't like the content, don't worry about it. I do a lot of videos, and I'm sure that there's something that you might like and find useful on this channel. So anyways, let's get started. Let's watch this video of the Harris Chain, and we're going to get it started right now. All right, so one thing I have to mention is that for some reason, the first day of this tournament, my new GoPro, I've got this GoPro 9 black, and I put it in the media mod deal. It didn't pick up any audio at all. I don't know what that was, but I have zero audio. But really, the angle is not great. I'm gonna admit, because we've got very we're not on the back of the boat, so you're not going to see a ton of fish catches, but you're going to see me catching and swinging them in, but not really a good look at the fish. Anyways, now we're idling. One of the things about the Harris Chain is the plentiful idle zones and the locks. So time management is so challenging on this chain of lakes. There's just so much that you have to worry about when it comes to timing. And here we are at the lock, the first day of the tournament. We've got about 7 or 8 boats in front of me. We find out that the lock is jammed because of a log. 3 guys had already gone through, so they got lucky. And then we had to wait for an extra about hour to get through the lock. And so that was kind of a bummer. That took a lot of time, fishing time, valuable fishing time out of our day. As you can see here, the fog has started to clear. The clouds are starting to clear. It's getting bright and sunny. We're getting later in the morning here, but we're getting through. And this lock, if you guys haven't been to the lock at Apopka, this lock only handles 3 boats at a time. So very, very, difficult to kind of time your day. But we ended up, getting through. This lock actually, as small as it is, it does take quite a while, to be honest. But we got through. It was about like 9:30 before we got fishing. And once we got to one of the stretches, it was immediate. I got a bite like first or second pitch. I'm pitching around this Z-Man palmetto bugs on a 1/2 ounce weight, 65 pound stealth gray Seagar Smackdown on the 7.6 heavy action all-purpose series rod from Fitzgerald. That's my favorite flipping stick for this type of thing, and the VLD10. So so that was my first fish. As you can see, not a great angle. I'm sorry, guys. But you can see we're fishing these reeds. It's kind of a mix of round buggy whips and flat cattails. But we're essentially just catching small fish right now, like 13 inchers, 1.5-pounders. It was really mind-blowing to me how many small fish I was catching on Apopka, because generally you go to the Apopka for big bags, the sure bet at a big bag, and that just wasn't the case. So right here we've got 3 fish. It probably took me 15 minutes to get 3 in the boat. And then I think there was a little bit of a lull. I think we went, probably another 100 yards before getting another bite. Here's a new stretch here. Set the hook on this little guy. Another just barely keeper. I'm talking little fish here. And I think that one, that one's still on the palmetto bugs. So the palmetto bugs, as you guys know, I throw that. I flip that a lot. I've made so much money on it. The last time I made a top 10 on Harris was with the palmetto bugs, and the same exact color too. This is the Bama bug color from Z-Man. Really, really good color. All right, so here it looks like I might have started to flip the bang sticks. So the bang sticks is a kind of like a stick bait. No, that's still the palmetto bugs, but in a minute here, I'm going to switch to the bang sticks, which is like a stick bait. It's made for Nico rigging, but it's a amazing flipping bait in Florida Lake. So this right here, I had seen some reeds kind of move, and I made multiple pitches. You're going to see me pitch to it multiple times to those reeds to get this fish to react. And this was kind of a key fish for the tournament. See me pitch to the same exact spot, taking my time. Another pitch to the same exact spot, taking my time. Fish is still there. I'm not seeing the fish, but I'm seeing the reeds move. And there it is. There it is. I still haven't seen it yet. Oh, boat flipped it. And thankfully, because it's such a good sized fish, I'm going to show the camera the fish, so you can actually see a fish in this video. Look at that, 5.25 pounder on the bang sticks, 3/8 ounce weight. All the other tackle is the same. And then that was pretty much it for Apopka. So after that, I ended up going down to Harris, gave myself an extra hour. The flipping bite was just really weird. I was just catching small fish, and I just didn't feel like I was going to get enough opportunities at big fish on Apopka to waste another hour there. So I came back down and went to a creek on Harris that had a lot of duckweed. But as you can see, there's still a lot of duckweed in this creek, but the wind from the storm the day before. I knew this was going to happen. And I was running across Harris, and all of a sudden I'd see these big floating mats of duckweed in the middle of the lake, and I knew exactly where they came from. And so the wind had blown out all of this duckweed, and so it wasn't as good. When I got in there, I was very disappointed. It wasn't as good, but I ended up catching a 3.5 pounder here at the end after the GoPro stopped running. So that is the footage for day one. I ended up with 13-12. So I caught my final fish, my final cull fish, at 3.5 pounder on a Z-Man Leapfrog's poppin version, the 2.75 black colored frog, so the poppin frog. And I love throwing a poppin frog in a duckweed because it just tends to like push that duckweed away from the nose of the bait and allows you to walk it in place instead of it, it just moving forward. A walking bait in that situation would just tend to move forward. You wouldn't be able to walk it from side to side if the duckweed is really, really dense. But that poppin frog, it'll clear like a little hole in front of it, and you can work that bait side to side. So that was day one. 13-12, I think, had us in a 4-way tie for 22nd place. I knew that after that day that going down to Apopka was going to be a struggle the next day too, because there was just too many small fish and not enough big bites. So I was hoping that the next day I could just run into some really good stretches, and I was going to have a longer day, which was seemingly good, but there were some challenges that I had the second day as well, as far as time management, that you guys will see in the next video. But anyways, guys, that was day one. If you have any questions about this day of the tournament, please drop a comment below. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, I'll mention that if you enjoy this content, please consider hitting that like button, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm going to see you out on the water. Take care. Trust the process.